tripped on the loop on my pants. That's fun. Alright, today I'm going to be showing you how to play What I Was Made For by Billie Eilish on the ukulele. One thing I want to note before I get into everything is that my ukulele has a low G string, so my ukulele might sound a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. It works the same either way. So I'll start by going through the chords. There are 6 chords in this song, but then a few different variations of some of the chords. So the first chord we have is a C chord. It should sound like this. And then there's an E minor chord. And then we have an F chord. And then an A minor chord. Then we have a D minor chord. And then finally a G chord. So those are the 6 chords that you use throughout the song, and I'll show you a few different variations of what we're going to be doing in the intro and the first 2 verses. The first shape is going to be this C alternative, where you're going to have your pinky finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and then the rest will be open, so it should sound like this. And then the next chord is an E minor chord. So the E minor is basically like a regular E minor chord, except you're just going to have your pinky finger on the 7th fret of the A string instead of the 2nd fret. So that'll sound like this. And you'll want to use your middle finger on the 4th fret of the C string and your pointer on the 3rd fret of the E string. And then the next chord is an F major 7, so I guess it's a slightly different chord from the F chord because we have the 7th note in there. For that one, you're just going to bar the 5th fret of the C string and the E string and just pluck those 3 bottom strings. And then finally, the last one is an A minor variation where you're just going to put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G string and then leave that pinky on the 7th fret. So those are all the chords you're going to use throughout the song. Now let's get into the actual structure and chord progressions. So we're going to start off with the intro and the first 2 verses using that different variation of chords. So basically your pinky finger is going to be on the 7th fret the entire time. So the song is going to start off with a 4-bar intro. Throughout that, we're going to use that chord progression with the pinky finger on the 7th fret of the A string. This is to kind of create a similar effect to what the piano is doing, having that note on the E consistently throughout the first 2 verses. So the chord progression is going to be the C chord, the E minor, and then the F major 7. For the plucking, you're going to use your pointer, middle, and ring finger, and then you're going to pluck the 3 bottom strings together, and then just use your ring finger to pluck the A string once, and then pluck it all together on the E minor, and then A string once, and then F major 7 together, A string once. And you're going to play through that 2 times, and then we get to the first verse. It's pretty much going to be the same thing, so you'll play through that exact chord progression, but 3 times. And then the 4th time around, you're going to go to the A minor first instead of the C, so you're going to want to pluck all of the strings this time. So including that top string here. So make sure you have your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. So you're going to pluck it all together. And then again, do that A string pluck and then go back to the E minor together, pluck, together, A string. So all together, you're going to go through the C, E minor, F major 7 chord progression twice for the intro. And then for the first verse, you play through that chord progression 3 times, and then you go to the A minor once at the end. And there are 2 verses that Billie goes through within the first section of the song that you're going to be plucking in this type of way. So you'll repeat the verse chord progression twice. And then after the 2nd verse, once you get to the F major 7 chord, instead of it playing it twice, you're going to go 1 and then go to an E minor. And that will be the transition into the chorus. So I'll play through the intro and the verse slowly, just to give you an idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for. So that's the first verse, and then in the second verse, instead of playing that F major 7 twice, you'll just go 1, 2 to E minor. And that will bring us into the chorus. So for the chorus, we're going to change up our plucking pattern a little bit. Instead, you're going to pluck the bottom 2 strings we have here with your middle finger and your ring finger. So that'll be the E string and the A string. So you'll pluck that once, and then you'll pluck the C string once. And we'll be plucking them on the 8th notes. And because the song is a little bit slower, it's not going to be super fast. So it'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the pattern that you'll be using throughout pretty much the rest of the song. So the chord progression for the chorus is going to be a little bit different. We're going to introduce our D minor chord first. Forced. So you'll play the D minor chord for 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4 with that same plucking pattern. And then you'll go to a G chord and play through that for a bar as well. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'll go to a C for 2 beats and then an E minor for 2 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll go to an F for 1 bar or 4 beats, so that'll sound like 1, 2, 3, 4. Together it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, E minor, 4, F, 2, 3, 4. And then, guess what? We go back to the same chord progression we were playing earlier throughout the verses, but this time we're going to play it in the lower octave of those chords. So we'll just play a regular C, regular E minor, regular F, and that will repeat 3 times, and then the 4th time through you're going to start on an A minor instead of playing a C, and then go back to the E minor and the F. So once we get to the A minor, you're going to want to pluck with your thumb as well. So you'll pluck that G string as well as the E string and the A string. So you'll play that all together and then play the C. So now I'll play through the chorus and then you can try to follow along again with the chords up here. 1, 2, 3. 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Fabulous. Fabuloso. Fabulous. Okay, so now we get into the rest of the song, which it's pretty much gonna repeat all the way till the end. So we have our post-chorus, which is where Billy's doing the da, 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 da. So for the post-chorus, you're basically just gonna play that C, E minor, F twice. That's about it. And then we get into the third verse of the song, and for the third verse, it's going to be the exact same thing as the second half of the chorus. So you're going to play that C, E minor, F 3 times through, and then on the 4th time through, go to the A minor, back to the E minor, and then the F. And then just like you would do at the end of the second verse, you're going to go after you play the A minor, E minor, F. Instead of playing the F 2 times, you're going to go F, back to an E minor for the transition to the chorus, like we did in the second verse. One other thing to add is the second time you play the chorus, there's going to be a little change in the chords at the very end. So after you play the A minor, E minor, F, you're going to go to an E minor again, and then you're going to pluck an F and just let it ring out to kind of have a nice transition to the outro. Beautiful. That's pretty much the entire song. We have the outro, which is basically just another verse. So you go through the exact same thing and pretend as if it's the exact same thing as the third verse. So again, you'll go to that E minor chord after. But then at the very, very end, there is kind of this tag ending where Billy says, something I'm made for a second time. So after that, you're going to play a D minor chord. So pluck all the strings together and that'll be for 4 beats. So 1 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. and then you're gonna go to a G chord for 4 again, and that's the end of the song. So that'll just be... So to give you an idea of how it should all sound together, I will play from the 3rd verse and then go all the way to the end of the song. All right, so starting from the 3rd verse on the C chord. 1, 2. When did it end? All the enjoyment. I'm sad again. Don't tell my boyfriend. It's not what he's made for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Think I forgot how to be happy. Something I'm not, but something I can be. Something I wait for. Something I'm made for. Something I'm made for. All right, there you go. So pretty much the second half of the song is fairly easy. It's literally just the same, like 4 chords until the ending, over and over again. Classic pop song move. But there you go. That's how you play What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. If you want to try playing through the entire song, I have a cover of it on my channel as well, so you can go check that out. Thank you for watching. How do I end these? Like every time. Bye.